Probably weren't expecting to see me so soon, but Ryan Poles has made a trade to improve the defense, especially that edge position, trading for Seahawks edge rusher Darrell Taylor for a 25 6th-round pick. Did not see this coming. Pretty excited about it, though, because the more I learn about him, the better that I feel about this trade. And for a 6th-round pick, low-key a steal because he was potentially going to be one of the Seahawks' better edges this upcoming season. But good stuff here from Ryan Poles. Excited to break it down for you guys. But hello, everyone. Welcome back to this episode of Just Another Year Chicago Bears. My name is Nick Brody. As always, thank you for tuning in. Poles is cooking, Poles is busy, and he continues to get the job done, trading for Darrell Taylor from the Seattle Seahawks for a 25 5th-round pick. So let's break it down a little bit more for you guys about Taylor and what he brings to this team. But before I get more into that, if you please could and haven't already, hit the like button on this video so more Bears fans tune in, along with subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. Let's get the news out about the newest Chicago Bears. So Darrell Taylor, a 6'4", 267-pound defensive edge from the Seattle Seahawks, is 27 years old, attended the University of Tennessee, and is a former second-round pick in the 2020 draft at pick number 48. So pretty high expectations for this guy. I think that he was put in a difficult situation with the Seattle Seahawks. Why they're trading him. The Seahawks are rebuilding. They don't have much going on for them right now. So this is a good move overall by the Chicago Bears in order to go out and get an edge that does bring a lot of value to the table. Over 3 seasons with the Seattle Seahawks, 21.5 sacks. He has 15 alone over the last 2 seasons. I had 9.5 back in 2022. 91 total tackles, 67 of them being solo, 34 quarterback hits, 22 tackles for loss. So, guys, a tackling machine, gets the job done, gets into the backfield. And by the way, he did this while being a rotational player. He was only started in 13 of the 49 games that he was a part of. So the Bears are getting a solid rotational piece to add to that edge room to keep things going. How does this impact the rest of the Chicago Bears team, though? Well, you have Montez Sweat, who's a lock, Austin Booker, who's a lock, DeMarcus Walker, who's a lock from that edge position, Dominique Robinson, Daniel Hardy, Kareem, and now you throw in Taylor, who's going to be on this roster. You don't just trade a player to then cut him a couple days later. The Bears definitely had their eye on this guy, and for being a guy that's a non-rotational type or is a rotational type player, big deal, but this does make an immediate impact potentially on Hardy and his situation with this roster. But a solid player, really good length at 6'4", 270 pounds. He's very fast off the edge, gets a lot of pressure on the quarterback. For a non-starter, averaging over 10 quarterback hits a season, along with nearly 8 tackles for loss, and averaging 7.5 sacks per season in the first 3 years, getting her a 6th-round pick. Not a bad move overall by Ryan Poles. Really great stuff here. We did see, though, that we do have a lot more depth at the edge position that we thought, but this is going to impact the rest of the team in a lot of different ways. The DB room is very packed. The wide receiver room is very packed. There's a lot of different things going on with the Chicago Bears right now that are going to potentially switch things up for this team. And this trade right here definitely was a little bit of a red flag for some of those guys that were potentially going to be later on the roster cut. But overall, we get Darrell Taylor. I like what he brings. You know, Shane Waldron obviously saw him too at practice. So maybe he was saying, hey, like, let's talk in his ear. Got to see him in games as well. He's had an impact for the Seahawks. I haven't seen a bad report about him from any of the Seattle's narratives or media. He's played in every single game in his NFL career. He hasn't started them, but over 3 seasons, he has 3 pass deflections. He uses that big 6'4" frame in order to get after the ball. Along with that, 5 forced fumbles in 3 seasons, 4 of them coming alone in 2022. He showed a lot of potential in 2022 for the Seattle Seahawks. And I think the Bears are getting someone that absolutely needed just another opportunity and a bigger break and more playing time. I'm not saying that he's going to be a starter, but solid rotational piece for the Chicago Bears. I want to hear what you guys are thinking about it too. So far in the comments, it looks like some people are liking this trade so far, but the comments are open. I want to hear what you guys are thinking about this pickup by the Chicago Bears. He's a solid piece to have in your locker room too. According to a couple other reports that I'm seeing, he is a good locker room guy. So he creates that good culture, plays really hard. So let's hear what you guys are thinking about this trade. And if you haven't already, please hit that like button. We're at 100 people right now. Let's get it up to 200 people before we close things out. We're going to be here for a while, though, because there's a lot to break down about this kid. But Darrell Taylor, solid body. He knows this style of defense too. It's similar to what Pete Carroll was running in Seattle while he was there. I think that this move came by the Seattle Seahawks. They're just trying to ramp up draft picks. A 6th-round pick is better than nothing from a guy that potentially was going to walk in free agency last year. You got something, or next year, you get something out of him, maybe even bring him in and be a stronger rotation player. I think the Chicago Bears defensive rotation right now, as it lies, will end up being Montez Sweat and DeMarcus Walker as your starting edges. Then you'll have Austin Booker, Darrell Taylor as your second string guys. And then Daniel Hardy will be your final edge rusher that rotates in. That allows Dominique Robinson to go strictly to the edge position. So really good stuff over here as well. I'm liking what I'm seeing out of his scouting report. He's fast off the edge. He had a really good combine too. He's a 2nd-round pick. So let's go into his combine stats for you guys to kind of break it down to show how much athleticism he brings to the table. But let's see. So his NFL Combine stats, he was one of the higher seeded edges back in 2020. I can see why. He has a pretty good stats. Prospect grade of 6.3. Played at Tennessee. Big guy. I mean, really big guy. 6'4", 270 pounds, 33-inch arm length with almost 10-inch in diameter hands. So he can get up and make those pass deflections when needed. He was picked at number 48 by the Seattle Seahawks. So pretty solid there. His production score, 65. Athleticism score, exactly why the Chicago Bears went on and got a 90 according to NFL.com. So his overall grade he was ranked the 3rd best edge in that draft, which is crazy to say. In his final season at Tennessee, he had 10 tackles for loss, 8.5 sacks, 46 total tackles, and 4 pass breakups. He brought that to the NFL. 9.5 sacks back in 2022 is super impressive for a kid like that. He's good at forcing fumbles, 5 forced fumbles in his career, 4 of them coming in his 2022 season. He brings a lot to the table. He's big. His strength is off the charts. He was ranked the 3rd strongest edge as well in the draft in 2020. Holds his point of attack from a top flight focus. He's fast, big hands too, which allows him for pass deflections. I mean, really, I'm shocked this guy didn't get more playing time in Seattle. It looks like he had guys in front of him, especially on that Pete Carroll defense. He wanted to keep those guys as long as possible, continuing to play and stick together. Shout out to you guys, though. We got 162 people in here right now. Let's hear what you guys think about the trade. But his overall RAS, looking at it right now, he's looking pretty good. It's pulling up right now. He scored a 9.1 is what I'm seeing. So the only thing that brought him down a little bit, they're saying that he was too small, but 6'4", 270, I think is a pretty good size for a player like that. Solid player, good speed off the edge, ran a 4.61 40. So he's super fast off the edge too. Wow, that's impressive. So you get his forced fumbles. You get 5. You had 4 in one season. He had a fumble recovery that actually returned for 21 yards. He had 9.5 sacks in 2022, 26 total tackles, 22 of them being solo and 13 quarterback hits. He had less playing time last year and still put up 5.5 sacks, 28 more tackles at 28, 10 tackles for loss. So this guy has a knack for getting in the backfield, creating problems on the outside, and being a really solid overall player for the Seattle Seahawks. And so the Bears got a dog in him. I really like what I'm seeing so far on his scouting report. He's a better version of Yannick Ngakoue, in my opinion. I mean, we weren't going out and getting him. I think Yannick looked a little bit too slow from all the videos that he posted on Twitter. I wish him the best. He's a really good locker room guy. He was fun to bring in last year, but not bad at all. Also, I'm reading right now, and Kale, I see that your comments are in there right now. He tied an SEC record for most sacks, with 4 sacks in a game with Reggie White, and second most sacks in a game in University of Tennessee history. This guy has a knack of getting to the backfield. Really, he's more than decent. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far from the scouting report on him. Really good stuff for the Chicago Bears here. And if you guys are happy about this, make sure to hit the like button on this video, because clearly you guys are doing so. Let's get some more Bears fans in here to hear the great news. I like that we only traded a 6 for a 2025 6. So the Bears draft order now, I'll break that down for you guys. Let's see, 2025 Bears draft picks. This does take away a Bears draft pick, unfortunately, but I'm not too worried about it at the moment. Let's see what Tankathon has to say for the Chicago Bears. So in 2025, they had 4 total 6-round picks. One of them belonged to the Pittsburgh Steelers, so that could be the Justin Fields one. That's something I'm curious about that I'm going to look for you guys in a minute, because that could be the trade, because we traded a 6th-round pick. It isn't confirmed it's the Bears, because the Bears have their own 6th-round pick. They have this Pittsburgh Steelers 6th-round pick from Justin Fields, and then the Miami Dolphins 6th-round pick. So I'm trying to see if I can find for you guys right now if that 6th-round pick was specifically used, which one was specifically used in order to get Darrell Taylor over to the Chicago Bears. Let's see what we got. He only has a $3 million cap hit as well, which he's cheap. So it's final year of his rookie contract. A lot to prove. Great value. During his career, though, it's not only from the quarterback hits. He has 90 pressures in 3 seasons. So in total, averages 30 pressures a season. Kid's an absolute beast. Love what I'm seeing out of this guy so far. It's only a 1-year, $3.13 million deal. Yeah, wow. That's pretty darn awesome. He was one of the best edge rushers to come out of the draft back in 2020. Really good stuff overall that I'm seeing. I think it's a solid trade for a 6th-round pick. I can't see if it was that exact one. There's nothing confirmed yet what pick it was. Okay, so let's see guys, the total breakdowns. This guy gets after the quarterback, 90 pressures over 3 seasons in the NFL. Super impressive. 21.5 sacks, averaging over 7 sacks a season right now. Super impressive as well. Wasn't even a starter. Super impressive there too. Quarterback hits. Guy gets in the backfield. Absolutely causes havoc. 34 quarterback hits, 90 pressures. I'm taking it. 6th-round pick. What a pickup by Ryan Poles. Another highway robbery deal. I'm loving it. I want to hear it in the comment section what you guys are feeling too. We got 265 people in here right now. Make sure you hit that like button. Let's get up to 300 to get some people more knowing about what's going on. Let's pull up some comments from you guys right now. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this overall. Let's see. We got Jorge with a thumbs up. Who does he replace? It's tough. I think what happens is that you're for sure going to have one less DB or one less wide receiver on this roster now. I've already I went over in my last video. So when you guys are done with this video, go to my literally video I posted an hour ago about my 53-man prediction. Someone's definitely getting moved. But also, I think it could be Dominique Robinson that could be on the move. The Bears probably felt like, hey, like he did put on the weight. He did look okay. But yesterday against the Chiefs, he was not doing the best job possible. So overall, it's tough to say. I think it is going to be Dominique Robinson if they get rid of another edge. Sorry, wrong one. Yeah, it is what it is. I like the trade though. It's a good 6th-round pick trade. You're getting a guy that has proven excellence in the NFL, a former 2nd-round pick for a 6. The Seahawks were going to get rid of him, probably let him walk next year anyway, so they got a 6 for him. Now he's in the Bears room. He's going to understand this defense. Eric Washington, look what he's done with Austin Booker and Daniel Hardy and all these other guys. So you give Eric Washington a solid edge rusher in Darrell Taylor, and you guys are going to get a lot more production out of him. I think the Seahawks definitely did the Bears a favor here. I can't think of a time that the Bears have stolen from the Seahawks before, so this is a good feeling. But put a bear down in the comment section right now, guys, or how you're feeling about this trade. Let's get a trade grade in there, A through B, or A through F on a Bears 6th-round pick going for edge Darrell Taylor. I'm going to go through this again. We got 300 people in here right now. I love seeing the energy, guys, but I want to hear everyone's grade on this trade. So I'm going to go through quickly what he has brought to the table and what the trade entailed of. So Bears traded a 2025 6th-round pick. It is not confirmed. It's the Steelers, the Miami Dolphins, or the Chicago Bears pick themselves. But the Bears brought in edge Darrell Taylor, a 2nd-round pick in 2020 at pick 48 out of Tennessee, where he was the 3rd-ranked defensive edge according to NFL.com that year. He has 21.5 career sacks, averaging over 7 sacks a season in the NFL. He's only 27 years old in the final year of his rookie contract on a 1-year, $3.1 million contract, and he has 90 quarterback pressures in his 3 NFL seasons, averaging 30 a year. More depth to this team. He's not going to be a starter, but great value as well. Could be playing for a new contract. The Bears have money next year. He won't get the big max dollars unless he balls out, but a great rotation piece to have behind DeMarcus Walker, who's only on two years left on his contract. All for a 6. Great job, Ryan Poles. What an overall job by the Chicago Bears getting this trade done right after yesterday, where Matt Eberflus came on and talked about himself that he was concerned about the depth of the defensive line. Clearly, Ryan Poles heard that and said, don't worry, Matt, I got you. Let's go out and get a good overall trade for you to improve your team. Let's see exactly what you guys are thinking in the comment section. Let's give your grade on this. We got a lot of comments. Great job. We got an A right here. Love to hear it from you guys on the trade. I'm giving this trade a B, by the way. I think it's a solid value. Would love to see him perform and continue to improve. We got a B- right here. We got a B, A. Any injury history. So he did come off a shoulder. He was drafted with a shoulder injury out of Tennessee. Didn't play his rookie season in 2020. That's why he played in 2021. But he hasn't been injured since entering the NFL. So really good stuff here. Also, claws up, bear down, guys. Great stuff over here. Great move, B-. Kenny Adams is going with the C-. How does Taylor compare to Sweat? Not nearly on the same level. You can't even put the same two in the same room, but from a prospect level, they were ranked the same. I think Taylor did not get a good opportunity in Seattle with Pete Carroll. There was a lot of guys. In there that obviously were taking more playing time than him, but overall, you can't put him in the same room yet. 9.5 sacks, though, in 2022. That was his career year, along with 4 forced fumbles and a fumble recovery. So I think it's a really low risk. Ironically, this is the comment. Really low risk, high reward trade for the Chicago Bears. The Bears, in my opinion, needed to add a little bit more to the edge room. I think that there's, some questions there. Montez Sweat, DeMarcus Walker, and Austin Booker. Austin Booker's done a fantastic job, by the way, moving things along. He's really impressed. Eric Washington's done a fantastic job improving that rookie and getting him up to speed. I like Daniel Hardy too. This move does concern me a little bit about his status, because if it came down to the two, you're not going to go and trade a 6th-round pick to cut a guy a couple days later. So Darrell Taylor definitely is going to be the guy for the Chicago Bears, in my personal opinion. If Daniel Hardy ends up going to the practice squad, I think he'll get picked up. He had a huge preseason, 4 sacks. So another thing, though, that I think it's going to be Dominique Robinson if it comes down to it getting cut in order to make room on the 53-man roster, which I don't know if you guys know this. I explained it in my last video. So after this one, make sure you go and check out my 53-man roster prediction. The Bears actually get 54 guys on the roster this year, because Tory Taylor is an international player. So another well-played move by Poles. More depth on this roster. Also, Tory Taylor is an absolute beast. What does this mean for DeMarcus Walker? I think that you could potentially move him into the inside. The Bears did actually have him playing inside for quite a bit. And so during his time in the preseason, especially against the Bengals, they had Austin Booker, DeMarcus Walker, Andrew Billings, and Montez Sweat across the 4. I kind of like that front. Javon Dexter being the rotation guy. I think Javon Dexter could be a hell of a rotation guy. Those guys are going to be worn out, and on 3rd down, you put big Javon Dexter in there and to blow it up the middle. Great call. I really think that this could be a huge move, but if it comes down to it between Dominique Robinson and Daniel Hardy, I think Robinson's going to end up getting the cut, because Hardy's cheaper. Robinson's in the last year of his contract. You never know. I don't see what they could do. I also, there are some injuries that come into the fact. Larry Borum was injured last night. Also, Douglas Coleman, the third, which, guys, huge news there. Just want to put it out there. Douglas Coleman was confirmed to be released from the hospital today. Love to hear that. Great news overall. So thank you guys for last night tuning in to the live stream after, sending the good vibes, because those definitely helped. Really good stuff here overall from the Chicago Bears, though. I think they got a hell of a value for a 6th-round pick. I don't think Poles is done yet, though. I know that this improves the defensive line significantly, but I don't think Poles is done making moves on this team. Teams are going to start getting rid of guys. Teams are going to start putting guys on the trade block, calling other teams like, hey, I got this player. Heard you guys are interested. What do you got? I think that there could be an offensive lineman move still for the Chicago Bears. I think the Bears could go out and still pick up maybe a tight end because right now the tight end room, in my personal opinion, looks like Steven Carlson, Mercedes Lewis, Gerald Everett, and Cole Kmet. We'll see what ends up happening. I think that this is not the final move of the weekend for the Chicago Bears. So expect a lot out of that. And thank you guys so much. We got 400 people in here right now. Your guys' comments are awesome. I'll go through them in a minute. But if you haven't already, the live chat is open. So make sure you guys are commenting on that. Also, if you haven't already, if you please could hit that like button if you like this trade, and also to help support the channel, and subscribe if you haven't already for all Chicago Bears breaking news. But bear down, guys. Great trade. I'm excited that Poles is still continuously being aggressive. That's what this team needs to do in order to win championships. I think that this move right here solidifies that we're going to be entering, this is a team that wants to go far. It's good stuff here. Mr. Clubber, I want to see what you mean by this one. Is this a good or a bad comment? Because I think it's pretty impressive. But the Bears are making all the right moves, guys. This was a huge pickup. Really excited about it. And I don't think the Bears are done today. So we'll see what ends up happening over the next couple of days with the Chicago Bears. I really hope that we aren't done. I hope this team continues to improve. I like what they're bringing to the table. I really like what Darrell Taylor brings. He's a backfield wrecker, really fast off the edge. So exciting stuff there. Hope you guys feel the same. Keep throwing your comments in the live chat right now. And thank you to everyone for tuning in this episode of Just Another Year Chicago Bears. A lot of exciting stuff for everybody. Also, make sure to go look at our 53-man prediction video that dropped earlier this morning. This definitely impacts that, so take it with a grain of salt. But excited for what's next for the Chicago Bears. Like this move a lot. I give it a B, and we'll see what you guys think as well. But with that, thank you as always for tuning in this episode of Just Another Year Chicago Bears. Please hit that like button before you leave today to support the channel, and we will keep you guys updated on all Chicago Bears news. But with that, thank you as always for tuning in. Claws up, bear down. Have a great weekend, everybody.